Good morning, students. Welcome back to your computer class. Myself, Ekta Kumari. So, let's start. Students, in the previous class, we had studied about communication, right? Communication and the types of communication. Today, we will study about communication cycle, identify the factors affecting our perspective in communication, and knowledge of basic writing skills. Okay, so let's start. Communication cycle. As we know that communication is the process of sharing information, right? We can share information between two or more individuals. So in communication process, sender sends a message to a receiver, right? And after receiving, receiver will give a feedback or a reply. Okay, so this leads to a cyclic process, and this cyclic process is known as communication cycle. As you can see in the diagram, sender is sending a message to the receiver and receiver is giving feedback. Now let's discuss about the elements of communication. So in the first stage of communication process, sender will think about the message, right? So like, what will be the message and how to send a message, like it will be in a written form or in a verbal form. Next one is sender. So after developing an idea, sender will send a message, right? Here sender is a person who is sending a message, and sender will send a message. Next one is encoding. Here encoding is simply, it means to package the message, right? This is done using words, symbols, pictures or sounds. Next one is channel. So the method of communication is called channel. Like, it will be face-to-face conversation, video conferencing, through radio, television, right, etc. Next one is decoding. So here in decoding, receiver will try to understand the message. Receiver will decode the message. And who is receiver? Receiver is a person who is receiving a message, and receiver will decode a message. After receiving a message, receiver will give feedback or response to the sender. Context. Context is the situation of the surrounding where the communication is taking place. Now, noise. Here noise is anything that disturbs the communication. Okay, that disturbs the communication cycle between sender and receiver. Next one is perspective in communication. So here perspective are the ideas, views or fixed way of thinking that affect our communication. So what are the factors that affect our communication? First one is conceptual clarity. It means that the idea or the concept of information should be clear. Sender should be clear about the information, whatever the information he wants to send. Next one is language. Here sender and receiver, they both should understand the same language, right? The language in which sender is communicating, receiver should understand. Next one is visual perception. So visual perception, it is the brain ability to make sense of what we see through our eyes. It means that different people have different perception in the same situation. Next is moods. It means that both sender and receiver They both should want to communicate. It should not be one sided. Prejudices. These are the fixed ideas or fixed expectation. Okay, it means that if we have a fixed expectation from someone or we have a perception about someone, right? So prejudice, it may lead to false assumptions. It means that suppose we have a fixed ideologies or fixed expectations from someone, right? So it may happen that if we have a fixed perception for someone, then it will be difficult to change our perception for that person. Timeliness. Communication should reach on time. Environment. It is the environment in which communication is taking place. Channels. Channel, it could be like face to face, through telephone, radio, etc. Past experience. During communication, sender should also determine the past experience with the receiver. Now, last topic of communication skills, that is basic writing skills. First of all, what is writing skills and how we can make it more effective? So, writing skills are an important part of communication, and good writing skills allow you to communicate your message clearly and easily. So, writing skills is the ability to write sentences and paragraphs correctly with proper grammar, spellings, and punctuations. Effective writing skills allow the sender to express his message with ease and comfort without leading to any confusion to the receiver. So, in writing skills, we will study basic English grammar concepts that we have already gone through in English subject. First, we have phrases. What is phrases? It is a group of words that stands together as a single unit, typically as a part of sentence. And what are the type of phrases? Noun phrase. It consists of noun and its modifiers. Next one is verb phrase. It consists of verb and its modifiers. Adverbial phrase that acts as a adverbs. Gerund phrase. These are essentially noun phrase that begins with the gerund. For example, jumping like a frog. Here, jumping is a gerund. Next one is infinitive phrase. Infinitive phrase begins with a verb, infinitive, and includes any modifiers. Next one is appositive phrase. It is essentially a noun phrase but renames another noun in the sentence. Participle phrase. It includes participles and its modifier. For example, giggling and playing in the park. Prepositional phrase. It is a group of words that includes a preposition and a noun. Next one is absolute phrase. It includes a noun and participle and any modifiers. Next is sentences. So, sentences. What are sentences? Sentences is a group of words that make complete sense, right? These are group of words that makes a complete sense. A sentence can be used to make a sentence or to give a command, to ask a question or show our feelings. There are mainly 4 types of sentence. First one is declarative sentence. Declarative sentences are simple sentence which ends with a full stop. For example, I am speaking. Next one is interrogative sentence. We use interrogative sentence for asking questions and it ends with a question mark. Next one is exclamatory sentence. We use these type of sentence to express our feelings like happiness, shock, right? And it ends with an exclamation mark. Next one is imperative sentence. Imperative sentence is used to give command and it ends with both full stop and exclamation mark. Next we have sentences. In sentences, a sentence consists of subject and a predicate, right? Sentence is a group of word and it consists of subject and predicate. What is subject? Subject tells who or what the sentence is about, and predicate tells what the subject is or does. For example, the kids are eating lunch. Here you can see the kid is a subject, are is helping verb, and eating lunch is a predicate. Next is sentence structures. What are the types of sentence structures? First one is simple sentences. Simple sentences made up of a simple clause. Here clause is a group of sentences. So simple sentences is made up of simple clause containing one subject and one predicate. Compound sentence. When two independent clauses are joined together by conjunction, right, that is called compound sentence. For example, the day was very hot and we went for a long swim. Next one is complex sentence. It consists of an independent clause and one or more dependent clause. Compound complex sentence. It consists of two independent clauses in addition to a dependent clause. Next one is complete sentence. It must consist of a subject and a verb and it must express a complete thought. Next is part of speech. We have already studied part of speech in English grammar. What are the part of speech? Noun, pronoun, verb, adverb, adjective, preposition, interjection and conjunction. Just go through the definition, right? Examples are also there. Next is articles. In English, we have articles a and the, right? A is used for a singular countable noun and we use a with constant. And an is also used with a singular countable noun, but we use an with vowel sound, that is a, e, I, o, u. Next one is the. We use the in front of all nouns, but to describe something specific or unique. Next is paragraph writing. What is paragraph? Paragraph is a collection of sentences arranged in such an order that they relate to a central topic. Right? It means that every sentence in a paragraph should relate to a main idea. There are three structure of paragraph: introduction, body and conclusion. So introduction, it is about the introduction of paragraph, its name. Body, it contains the main message, and conclusion, it is a summary of paragraph. Types of paragraph. First one is descriptive paragraph. We use descriptive paragraph for describing something. Next one is narrative paragraph. We use narrative paragraph for telling a story, right? Expository paragraph. It explains something or provides some instruction. Next one is persuasive paragraph. This is a type of paragraph that many educators focus on. Why? Because For writing this paragraph, it requires a collection of facts, research, right? Next one is essential elements of good paragraph. Unity of topic, it should be a single controlling idea. It should be short and concise. Controlling idea. Before writing the paragraph, it is important to think about the topic and related sentences. Next one is connected sentences. Sentences within a paragraph should be coherent and connected to each other. Coherence. Unnecessary details should not be added as it only makes the paragraph lengthy and lose its stream. Completeness. Paragraph should be well developed and all its sentences should support the main idea. Summarization. The summarization of the topic is the last sentence is very important. Right? It is the last, that is the last part of paragraph where we summarize our topic. So here we have completed lesson 1, communication skills. Go through the video and also read the lesson carefully. If you have any doubt, you can ask your respective subject teacher. Okay? Stay home, stay safe. Thank you.